Hey guys, this is On the Blue Cloud, and I'm back with episode 5 of Step by Step. And for this episode, it's quite special because I have decided to do kind of podcast. So I'll do a recap for some screenshot. And if I forgot to tell you some other important parts, please forgive me and you're welcome to help me by leaving a comment. I think the highlight of this episode is obviously Kun Cheng, and you're going to hear me saying Kun Cheng many times, so I'm sorry in advance. Let's go. So first scene is about discussing over who we have to pick up for the advertisement project as known as Lively Plus. And it happens that one of the actors is Pat X named Put. And even though Pat wanted to ask if they were other actors, they told him no, so they had to choose Put Chris. So I felt bad for him for a moment because working with your ex or maybe a person who seems to hurt you so bad but you don't want to talk with is not really easy. It's uncomfortable. And what I like is Kun Cheng noticed at the end that Pat was definitely not okay. And after that, Pat had to meet with Jap and Jen for locations to shoot the advertisement. And I think it was lovely how Kun Cheng sent him a message to ensure that Pat is on his way. Kun Cheng asked Pat if he was outside or not, and then Pat texted him back saying yes, he's already outside. We also have a scene with his father and Kun Cheng, and it eventually shows us how the father has high expectations from his son, the pressure he gives to him, so it could explain a bit more of Kun Cheng's character. So the father wishes his son could take another and greater position after him, but Kun Cheng doesn't want this, and he said to him maybe 2 or 3 years later he will think about it, but for the father 2 or 3 years seems to him too long. And at the end, before walking out, his father told him that Kun Cheng shouldn't forget he's still his father. So I think it's implying Kun Cheng has to do what his father wants. And I suppose that mainly because I think Kun Cheng is his elder son, so maybe that's why his father behaves like this, but it's kind of different for Jap who is his younger son. Maybe we have some further explanation, maybe, I don't know, on the family later, so we have to look forward to what's going to happen between Kun Cheng and his father, but also in the family in general. This scene, I find it funny and cute at the same time because Kun Cheng called Pichot asking if Pat was okay, if there was a problem. And on one hand, I think it's kind of understandable as Kun Cheng is worried about Pat being a newbie and therefore he lacks some experiences, and in addition, Kun Cheng is a perfectionist. But on the other hand, why he bothered Shot, who was sick at that time and was staying at the hospital due to stomach issue? And Shot said after his call that Kun Cheng didn't even ask him he was alright or not. So in this scene, he ended up calling Pat, asking if there was any problem, but Pat of course lied to him, saying, no, don't worry, there's no problem right there. But Jen came in and saying, no, it's no good. She didn't agree with us and something like this. And I think Kun Cheng at this time heard him over the phone, so he asked again, Pat, are you sure there's no problem? But obviously, Pat denied till the end and hung up the call. So the team had to stay at the hotel because the next day they will begin to shoot for the advertisement, but they again encountered a new problem. So the hotel didn't have any room left. But Pat said to Jane it was fine, he could search and stay in another hotel. It was not a problem for him. And until Kun Jeng finally appeared and asked them what's wrong. So they had to explain the situation, and when he asked the two receptionists if a president's suite room was available, and they told him that yes, one room was luckily available. So he said, okay then, I booked this room, and after that he suggested to Pat to sleep in that room with him, and we were all shocked. Like, seriously? But obviously, Pat couldn't refuse, so there was apparently no choice for him. So later on that night, before they get into the bed, we saw at first Kun Jeng, who was working on his computer, and he was so attractive that Pat felt something. We can't deny that he didn't feel something right there. He felt something when he looked at him. It was not on purpose, but seeing him doing almost nothing, but still somehow being attractive with his white shirt. I mean, you should look at this scene. And I thought maybe Pat has finally remembered he has a crush on his boss. And after this moment, it was Pat's turn to work on his computer because his manager had to take a shower, and when Kun Jeng finished and came back, it was already midnight. Wow, such a workaholic. And he suggested to Pat to sleep in the bed with him, but of course Pat would refuse and said, no thanks, no, I will sleep on the sofa. But Kun Jeng said, no, it's going to hurt your back, and that's why we finally went to the room. Oh my god, the awkwardness between these two. Honestly, it was cute and funny, and at the same time it was cute and funny, but mostly really awkward. The thing is, things which was funnier is that when I noticed the bed wasn't big because they removed the actual bed size and changed into a small one. Do you see the little space on Pat's side? Obviously they changed it. So the next day, breakfast time, and the way Pat walked made me laugh as if there was a fire broke out or something. And the way he wanted to take a shower before eating with Kun Jeng, but Kun Jeng kindly invited him to come in, saying the food is going to be cold, was cute. Like, he didn't care about the look. I appreciate him for that. I mean, it's cool to see some realistic and natural moment, but we all know, and we are all like Pat. It's normal to think it's better to be clean, especially when it comes to people you are not that close. And in that case, it's his crush and his manager, but here he didn't even care about it. So while taking the breakfast, they discussed about work such as where Pat and the team had to go for the locations to shoot the advertisement, and in the midway, Pat read the messages finally sent by A and Bim, and this guy was so surprised that he spoke out loud, making Kun Jeng a bit surprised as well, and asking him who she was, and then Pat didn't even say she was his friend, but in the contrary said he probably didn't know her, and I was like, dude, you were all drunk on that night. She nearly called him informally, or she nearly was ready to fight him when she knew Kun Jeng was his manager. But okay. Oh, so about Anne Bim. So Bim was the first one who knew about her pregnancy. And I wanted to say, I laughed because at first I sent to him only a photo and a small text like a change but no salary. And when Bim texted her back asking if she had COVID, and I was like, dude, please, oh my god, no. Why did you say that? Like, did you have COVID? Luckily, she texted him back saying she's pregnant, and then we all expected to see him being happy, but no, he seems reluctant, a bit sad. So one-sided love? Honestly, I'm okay, and it's understandable if one character had a crush on her or his friend. But here, with Bim, that was so sudden, so I was like, is it necessary to bring another problem? It's just that I like their friendship, and I wanted they would maintain this relationship until the end, like no drama, for them and so on. So I didn't take a screenshot and I must forget it, but yes, congratulations to her and her future husband, Canon, because after this news, Canon did a wedding proposal to her when he was at the aquarium through a video call. And we still saw Mim wasn't really happy about it. But he forced himself to say, yeah, congratulations and so on. So here I took a scene where Kun Cheng received these photos sent by Jane, because remember they had to shoot the advertisement and they casually made Pat to replace Chris because I don't know why, maybe Chris wasn't free and at that time we were Canon, Jab and Jen, but they preferred to push Pat to do the photoshoot with Put. I was a bit frustrated because we all know that Pat disliked him, he even hated him, but he had no choice but to stay calm and follow their words. Clearly we could notice a forced smile, a kind of uneasy feeling from Pat, but I was wondering, Canon wasn't aware of that? And Jab too? I mean, they are his friends, but maybe not as close as Anne and Mim, but I thought they could be aware of the relationship of Pat and Put. That's a bit weird. So when Kun Cheng received these photos, it was funny because right after he took his sunglasses out to see clearer and the jealousy was present. I think the expression of Kun Cheng was well delivered. The mixed feeling he had such as jealousy and sadness, but also a bit of helpless. I don't know how to explain this. And it seems really complicated for him. This scene is after Pat finished the photo session, so they exchanged some messages and they were meeting at the aquarium later. It was lovely, especially because Pat was smiling through this. He seemed happy to see him. So here we go at the aquarium scene, and I was a bit mad and frustrated because at first Pat was smiling while giving a cup of coffee to Kun Cheng, and then Put was also here, and it was also awkward. The worst thing is that Put dared to ask Pat if he wanted to see some shark's eggs. I mean, what? I don't care. I don't know if Pat was being naive or something. He was quickly dragged out by Put, and I was like, bro, what are you doing? You dare to leave this hot man for your ex? I mean, to watch some shark eggs or whatever with your ex, but you don't invite Kun Cheng? Like, come on. It doesn't make sense. And you see the expression of Kun Cheng? I felt bad for him. Oh my god. The sadness was displayed. Luckily, we are at the scene where Put had to go back with his suitcase and he had the audacity to ask Pat if he wanted to go with him, that the driver can drop him off and Pat didn't have time to respond that Kun Cheng promptly said, no, he'll drop him off as they take the same way, and then quickly said to Put, get home safely, okay, bye-bye. I loved this. It was so funny, and even Pat was wondering why he acted like this. He even said to Kun Cheng, you're acting weird today. But of course Kun Cheng would say, no, I don't see what you mean, I'm not acting weird. And after that, it was awkward again, but cute at the same time because Kun Cheng was trying to grab an opportunity to stay with Pat a little more, asking him if he wanted to go somewhere before they going back to the hotel. And he even said the weather is good. I mean, what? Are you sure you are not flirting with him? But of course, Pat said yes. I've seen the pretty bridge. Should we go there? So I won't do or repeat exactly what he said, but the important thing is, okay, we went to this pretty bridge with some bubble tea because Kun Cheng wanted to drink bubble tea at this hour. Okay, why not? That was cute. And finally, the last scene is one of my favorite. Not only the background is nice, but also I feel like this scene is a step for them. So firstly, Pat was sorry because he had to do a photo shoot with Put as they wanted to convince the client as soon as M, I think, of Forge. And, but instead being angry or whatever, Kun Cheng asked him what was the feedback, and he ended up complimented him twice, like, yes, well done, Pat. And then suddenly fireworks behind them, and it was the scene prettier. It made the scene prettier, like, boom, suddenly fireworks, like, okay. But what it made me laugh was the reaction of Pat. Pat was like a child telling his father there were fireworks over there. I mean, what? And when he said this, I don't know if it's just me, but it looked like Pat, or the actor himself, was laughing to his remark. Okay, seriously, my heart melted when suddenly Pat called Kun Cheng by P Cheng, which is more familiar and closer way, and that's why we could see the smile on Kun Cheng's face. Lovely moment. And that was the ending of the 5th episode. So I'm looking forward to the 6th episode, and it seems that Kun Cheng is getting bolder and bolder, even though it's step by step, by inviting him to eat with him again. So it's going to be interesting to follow what will happen next for Put, who seems to cross the line, and the development of the relationship between Pat and his manager Kun Cheng. So that's it for today, and thank you if you have stayed until now. See you in the next video. Bye!